Welcome back to Anchor Designs. I'm James and we're going to get started straight off the bat here today. So, recent addition to the shop, which was mentioned in the previous videos, is this. So I spent a long time doing another design on Fusion, and to be honest, like a lot of things I kind of dream up, way overcomplicated for what it needed to be, and I was in my local shop. I'm not going to say which shop, but it was a shop, and they had one of these, and they were getting rid of their shop fitting, etc. So I paid pretty much peanuts for this, and it's exactly kind of what I wanted. Maybe something a bit narrower, and I'll probably make something a little bit smaller as well. But what this is effectively some shop shelving. So it's called twin slot shelving, which, well, clues in the name. It has twin slots on the side, and it allows you to position the shelves wherever you want, however you want, how high you want, and they are rated for, you know, really pretty good weight. So I've used office furniture before in my shop, and I'm trying to get away from that. And I've always spent money on tools, but I've never spent a lot of money on tool storage. Up until fairly recently, so this is a little bit of an elephant in the room, but it's going to do the job, I think, pretty well. I don't know the manufacturer of what this called, but it's just kind of, you know, racking and shelving. And the idea of this is you can have everything on multiple layers and more horizontal surface, because a famous maker, Adam Savage, once said, any horizontal space kind of just gets filled and it's just somewhere to get things chucked on. The same with drawer space, which I have quite a lot of drawer space. However, this for me, at this moment in time, works really well. I don't have a lot of time in my shop per week. When I do, any time I can save on dragging things out of cupboards and drawers, etc., is going to be a benefit to me. So this is why we're using this. It might not be a great idea for your shop. Typically what I see in America is you have a massive barn, and you know, quite a lot of American makers have got a lot more space than what we would typically have here in Britain, but the UK, I should say. So this is my idea. I think it works pretty well. It works well for me. It's movable. If I have different tools, I can change it. It's height adjustable, and the best thing I like about it is it's pretty cheap, like me. So let's move it round, and I bought some plywood just to fit on there so we can adjust it. I've also bought some more shelves to put on there, and let's tidy it up and get everything bolted and secured down, ready to be used. Okay, I've just come to put on the next shelf, and I bought these from my local hardware shop, and they're made by Form, and these don't fit, which is really annoying. I have no idea. Why would they do that? It's a standardized. It is a standardized bloody shape. So I thought these were all standard. Obviously not. So some of them have an extended mouth. Now what I could do is I could grind this back piece down for that to then fit. Width wise, absolutely fine. But the actual, this piece here is too long, which, that is really dumb. Like, so you conform to buying their own brand, I'm guessing? So, this is provisionally the setup that we're going to have. The drill press isn't going to stay there. That's going to be moved onto a big tool cart that I'm making here. So it's going to be a big box section frame with that in the middle of it, and then some space at the side. It's going to be about 1 meter long, and to be able to cover, this is my milling machine, or mill drill, whatever you want to call it. That's going to go in a blacksmith station. That's going to go over there sometime with some wheels on it. But anyway, back to this. So that's going. The drill press isn't going to go on there. The Myford bandsaw in the corner, that's going to eventually have, that's going to be all built. I built a special trolley for it not that long ago, and that worked out really pretty well. And then that's going to be moved round, but as I mentioned in my earlier videos, probably not going to be in this workshop for much longer, hopefully. But it allows me to use everything at this moment in time. So we have got a mixture of both woodworking and metalworking equipment on here, which isn't ideal, and I haven't got a lot of space. I'll just run you through my thought process, really. So at the bottom we have power hacksaw. This can be pulled out forward, moved, etc. to allow clearance onto here. These are tools that I use very often for making the anchor squares. That's something I use quite a lot, so I don't really want it in a toolbox. Again, this is to make it as easy as possible. When I come into my shed, every minute is precious, so I must take as much time as I possibly can. That's going. This is on here nice and solid, which it's only a cheap Parkside one, but it's got the, I don't really use that, to be honest. It's mainly on the wire brush, just for something quick and useful. I'll put a bag over this to protect the stone, so no aggressive, wire wheels go onto this and affect it. It looks a lot darker on the video than it actually is. I can see this fine. I'm not bolting this down because I can grab it, move it out, use it, put it back. Same with this one as well. I can move that back out and forward. Above that, my logic is, well, sanding disc, that can go there. This is a smaller one, obviously, and it's speed adjustable, which is quite nice. So I can use this for being really delicate. It hasn't got a delicate disc on at the moment, but hey ho. This is a pottery stand that I use for spray painting and showing finalised parts on camera, which this is brilliant. The best 10 quid I've ever spent. This is my new-ish bench grinder. It's new to me, it's not new. I bought it quite heavily reduced. It was second hand, but it's hardly been used. Stones are pretty good on it. This is bent, but that's going to go there, and it's quite a nice workable height, and I've got the light right above me. And then above that shelf we've got all my chargers. So I've got my Makita one on there, the small baby Makita, the cheap one, and I did have a Dremel 8000 charger on there, but it's got like a high pitch noise on it. So I've gotten rid of that one and put that back in the shelf. I don't use that very often. And then just bits and bobs up here that I don't really need to use. Now the beauty of using these is that I can put lights on underneath if there wasn't enough light, but for me it's absolutely fine. My most annoying tools that I've got, things that I don't use very often, but when I do use them they're really handy, which is the massive scroll saw, which I love. Restored that, the first thing I ever did. And the Elu flip saw has just come out of storage, and I'm going to start using that a little bit more, which is good. But if we take a step back now, workbench is there, tools, etc. are in here, both woodworking and metalworking and grease monkey stuff. Now all the power tools on here are accessible, easy to use. Now I'm going to show you just a little tip as well. With this, you're going to have lots of cables, and these definitely aren't going to stay like this because I've got to keep it tidier. And I use these, which I didn't know these existed until a few weeks. Well, no, sorry, last year time, not a few weeks. I bought this lot a few weeks ago. What these are, as daft as it sounds, probably everybody but me has heard of these, but these are reusable tie wraps. So this is going to be pretty hard to do with one hand. That goes on there, and then you press down this little tab here, and they are reusable. So I went through a stage of using bags and bags of tie wraps, especially when working on, you know, cars and changing looms and playing around with stuff. But you can get these multiple different colours, etc. I went with black because, well, once you go black, etc. And everything, you know, you can tidy up the cables. The beauty of this is it's got mesh at the back, so you can tie them in. This configuration is going to change multiple times before I'm happy with it. You know, I might get more tools, I might upgrade to a Tormek. I'd like a Tormek, but everything's just so expensive with them. So, but this does the job for now. Fine. Quick little video. Hope you like it, and it gives you some ideas for your shop. Thanks, guys. See you next time.